SABC News celebrates Women's Month.
So as we celebrate Women's Day, we speak with women who've made it in their careers, if you will. We now chat to an accomplished tax specialist, that's Varsha Singh. She's the Senior Advisor to the Executive Secretary of the African Tax Administration Forum. Thanks very much for joining us, Varsha. Happy Women's Day to you. I suppose tax is still very much a male-dominated area. What drove you to get into the field? And tell us about your career progression within it.
Thank you, Nanko. Yes, I joined in 1995, and I started at the bottom, and I actually started firstly in customs and then progressed into tax over the years. But at that time, there was very little women that were in the tax administration or the customs administration. But over the years, as I had progressed, I started at the South African Revenue Service. You started to see more women joining the administration and also taking on various roles in technical areas in tax and customs. And when I was the head of international relations at SARS, and in 2017, I joined the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development as the deputy head in the Center for Tax Policy and Administration. And the OECD has been very much in the news in terms of driving the global tax debate. And I was there for 3 years. And then in October last year, I joined ATAF, and ATAF is an administration that while I was at the South African Revenue Service, I was part of the development of ATAF with the rest of the continent. So it gives me really, it makes me very privileged to be back at ATAF and to be developing tax administrations in Africa and making them much more efficient and effective, but also ensuring that we mobilize domestic resources. If you look at the African continent, there are still very few women. An ATAF publication, which is the Africa Tax Outlook, in 2018, it found that there were 78% men still dominating the executive positions in Africa in tax administrations. And this wasn't any better in 2019, it was 76%. Currently, you find that there is just 3 women amongst the ATAF members, which is 40 members, that are Commissioner Generals. So it's still an area that is very much still male-dominated, but we are moving more and more towards trying to level that field.
Yeah. So, Varsha, how important is the work of the African Tax Administration Forum for the continent, and what particular role do you play in it? So ATAF's role is to build tax administrations in Africa, and they do this through various capacity building activities such as training and technical assistance. Technical assistance particularly, I would like to just mention, in areas such as transfer pricing, exchange of information, the fight against illicit financial flows, and by developing legislation firstly, and then building the capacity in these administrations. My role there as senior advisor is widespread to make sure that the strategy is being implemented and is aligned to the global tax agenda, and also ensuring that ATAF has strong partnerships not just on the continent but also internationally. ATAF over the years, it's been in existence since 2009, and I think we are very much accepted in the international fora as a voice for Africa on taxation. And we build our members' capacity to be able to join these debates and ensure that Africa gets its fair share in the various discussions that are taking place.
Yeah.
Notably, just last month, there were in the UN Tax Committee, there are 3 women from Africa, Ghana, Angola, and Zambia, that have been nominated onto the UN Tax Committee, which is a huge accomplishment, I think, for Africa as well as for ATAF.
Excellent. Now, I wanted to ask you, Varsha, it's always said that in the professional realm that women have to prove themselves that much more than their male counterparts. Just tell us what your experience has been. Have you been quite fortunate? Did you have some very progressive male professionals that helped to spur you on?
Yes, I think I would say I was lucky in that I had various mentors throughout my career that steered me on and also ensured that I brought my voice to the area of tax and customs. And I have also been fortunate that I have represented both South Africa as well as Africa internationally, and working at the OECD gave me the opportunity also to be an African voice in a developed country context. So even though there's not so many women that are around the table, I think that when a woman has that opportunity to be at the table, we need to make sure that we, besides taking other women along and ensuring that their voices are heard, but we also need to make sure that we are able to portray an image that is not just one that, it's for women to be at the table, but one that women are able to talk about the technical aspects. And for me, that is very important. And I think I have been able to achieve that both in the tax and the customs context over my 25 years in the tax administration.
Well, congratulations on your achievements, Varsha, and what a great example you are to us females. All the very best. That was Varsha Singh. She's the Senior Advisor to the Executive Secretary of the African Tax Administration Forum. We're going to go for a quick break. We'll have more news.